Grand Finals time upon us. One and all, welcome back to the competitive free-for-all action. That's right. AoE 4 has got a $1,000 free-for-all tournament going on right now, featuring some of the best players from the East and the West. And some of them very beasty in their ways. Others a little bit more chill. We have got Core in the purple. We've got Beasty in the teal. Just to the north in the blue, we've got Baltoon. Close neighbors unintentionally here. To the south is going to be Kyo, one of the Vietnamese players. Next to them is going to be Popo, this single soul representative here from Japan. In the pink, we are going to have 194, the great Unicom, a high-ranking Chinese player. And to the south of them, we're going to have Oppa Joy, a very talented player from Vietnam in the orange. And finally, rounding us out, another Vietnamese player, someone very familiar for anyone who follows the team environments. It's Vuvo Van. Big shout out to Clearman, by the way, for organizing this tournament. He's the one that managed to pull together the $1,000. He's been casting these games in Vietnamese across the YouTube side, so if you're Vietnamese, give him a check-in. If you're English, this is the place to be for all your free-for-all and 1v1 content. So, format ahead of us is quite simple to follow. We've got 6 games playing out across 3 days. By the end, the player with the most points will have won. The way you score points, king kills and winning games. King kills are worth 1 point. Winning a game is worth 3. So getting the final kill on a king to win a game will be 4 points, for example. On top of that, in the event of a draw on points, whoever got that score first wins. So you're actually rewarded in a lot of ways for being active, not just per game, but also earlier on in the series. And this is already insanely active. Beasty and Baltoon neighbors. Very different structuring of civs there, right? Like, you've got English here that I think can fare better in these early game exchanges, and then Ayyubids on the other side that are a lot slower. Another big thing is Beasty has got fishing. He even drops the dock next to the deer and starts killing them to eat. That's very efficient long term, very inefficient short term, because deer is worse than fishing on the shoreline for villages. But because he's able to shove these right next to the dock, it makes it kind of balanced out, and it also guarantees that his fishing boats get more bang for buck over time. In the meantime, Baltoon is also going to be going for his own dock here. I think they might be joined very shortly by Kyo. Kyo's TC is almost in range of this dock as well. So Beasty, mate, he's the meat in a sandwich here. And that's, by Battle Royale rules, never a good idea. You know, there's kind of a rule I have after thousands of hours in Apex. I'd always say never be the meat in the sandwich. And that holds 100% true when you're playing free-for-alls in Age of Empires 4. Elsewhere, it looks like we've got Oppa Joy setting up on the docks as well. The only player that hasn't so far is Vuvo Van and Unicom. Both of them are just hanging on land so far. Kind of makes sense, actually, for Unicom. He can probably get a slightly quicker castle timing if he ignores fishing, because it's only shoreline fishing. And his position is perfect for it, guys. Look at this. 4 relics, all basically within a screen of your TC here while playing HRE. To the far north, yellow is also not engaging in fishing, but I think that's more because Vuvo Van doesn't know. He's glimpsed it now, doesn't seem to be interested in moving out in a rush. In fairness, playing Chinese, you could just condense and play land eco and play for the later phase of the game. How did you guys predict, by the way? How many people went with Beasty? 55% went with Core. 38% went with Beasty. 7% went with Popo. Damn. No one believes in the Baltoon power. I mean, guys, this is the thing. A lot of people think Ayyubid sucks in free-for-alls. I'm not convinced. Especially with this format, they look really good. In fact, Oppa Joy in the opening game of Group B was able to annihilate everyone by playing Ayyubids. The tech-up's going to start coming through soon. I mean, Core is chilling over here, right? And he can always, to the issue of gold, he can always play inland. It's not too difficult. He has already got, like, dock set up as well to cover him. He's also got gold really far behind him. It is going to be annoying. It's going to be somewhat choreful in the initial walk. But the cool thing is Core is playing Chinese here, right? So he doesn't need to necessarily rush out. He can just keep supervising the lumber camp and then tax it to pay for tech ups. I'm wondering, actually, is there a crossing nearby? No. Okay, that is actually very fortunate for Beasty and Baltoon. Beasty in particular, because if there was a crossing here, Kyo could play Griefer. Instead, we're probably going to get a one-on-one between Kyo and Popo, and a one-on-one between Beasty and Baltoon. I was going to start coming through soon. Beasty does have gold issues, right? Yeah, and it's been scouted. Baltsoon does see him. But Baltsoon hasn't started aging up himself. He hasn't even started gathering gold. So there is no clean answer to this gold gathering. It means Beasty will get Feudal Age first. A big problem now for Baltsoon. Remember, Beasty's going to be able to access the longbows. And that means he can take a stab at this economy. Like, looking at the TC placement, he can walk around this way and then just basically snipe villages, chilling here. Because when you look at wood access, Baltsoon has to play away from the TC. He has a tiny little forest back here, and that is it. So longevity-wise, Baltsoon is going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight hard. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Auberjoy definitely milking over here. And you can see it is a confirmation of it. Unicom is going for that fast castle. He even shoves the deer in to get that superior gathering rate. So he's going to have a very competitive timing here. The only risk is someone like Auberjoy attacking him, but Auberjoy's playing Ayyubids, and he's playing Growth Wing first. Like, this is going to be very slow, I think. On top of that, I think, has he actually scouted him? Yeah, so he knows about Unicom's location. So theoretically he can contest, but because he's going for all this fishing first, it should give enough time for Unicom to pick up at least the 2 relics closer by. In fact, I love this wall now from Auberjoy. So a blocker to 1 the relics is at least coming in. And also playing North relics is a bit difficult because the crossings are really far on the east and the west. So it's not like you can just beeline up there as Unicom to get them. In fact, what else has he seen? Oh, wow. Yeah, he hasn't really seen that much outside this initial area. He doesn't even know about this relic over here. Council now coming in. A smart choice by Beasty. Long-term wise, you prefer to have the Abbey of Kings, right? Very powerful tool. But in general, in this position, saving 300 wood is big. You're both trying to rush towards Feudal Age, right? Like, Baltsoon is going to be not too far behind you. So this is the way you have to contest. Oh, wait, yeah, I just realized that. Why does it not show the time clock here? We're 8 minutes into the game right now. So tech out complete. What's Baltoon's choice going to be? He went with the advancement, right? Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Usually you do this when you got water involved as well. But this is more, I'm going to die on land if I wait that long. So advancement wing does come in. Wombos are going to start scaling behind this. We have actually got an outpost getting upgraded. And on a delay, Kyo now playing onto the waterway not only gets food, but gold as well. And it's going to force a shift a little bit. But this is claustrophobic, guys. Outpost is now going to start harassing. Meanwhile, on the east side, there's no escape. There's no retreat. That's been walled in. Popo also has the TC right next to the edge. Oh my god, dude. Beasty has been cluster ducked in this one. If he doesn't rush kill Baltsoon, he's dead. Because there's no way out now, right? Like, you could try to shift away on the east side, but that would feel bad as well. Oh, F11. Thank you very much, Zafras. Appreciate you. Meanwhile, Regnet's now up. So relics are being targeted. In fact, Unicom was a little bit slow moving for them, right? Yeah. Oh, no. I see what happened here. He was trying to go for a greedy one on the flank, but Auberjoy already walled off both of these. You could actually build a transport ship. That's a pretty sick idea here. Like, your opponent won't be able to mirror with boats to block you quick enough because transport ships are really tanky. So I'd actually love to see Unicom have the game sense to just drop a dock, build a transport ship, and go upriver. Because that's also very efficient with prelates, because prelates are quite slow. Transport ships are notably faster, about 1.5 times faster. Well, BC might be able to make men-at-arms, but men-at-arms aren't going to get you out of this situation. Diving underneath the enemy base in Age 2 doesn't work. So Beasty, instead, he's going to head up. Age 3 now on the way. I'm kind of surprised Baltsoon didn't try to contest this goal, but we have to think about it from Baltoon's perspective. This is his vision. He doesn't know that Beasty's being backstabbed by 2 players, right? So he just has to kind of play a survival game himself, and there you go. That is a sure sign that he doesn't have much wood to work with. In fact, I think we might have a Tower of the Sultan play on the way from Baltoon here, which is wild to say out loud. Makes sense though, right? Like, I remember there was a Chinese player that had a really solid strategy on the ladder. I think it actually might have been Unicom, where you would go Industry Ring Castle Age and you'd rush up to Tower of the Sultans. In theory, a very powerful strategy. In practice, though, you do need production buildings to get units out to leverage that. I mean, he definitely knows about this. Wait, can he... Guys, I think it might be worse than what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if he... Yeah, so it's not optimal. He has to put it on the low ground. There wasn't enough space to get it right snug up next to the trees, so it's a little bit subpar when it comes to gathering. On top of that, Baltoon does not have wheelbarrow. Or elsewhere, it looks like Unicom is going to go on the water, but he's going to build the galleys first to push away Opajoi. Well, that's smart, right? Opajoi went for the Castle Age rush because he's playing Relic game as well. You do really need to get a transport ship here, though. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go for it. So overall, after all that effort, Unicom's play feels quite worthless, actually. Meanwhile, I think Core has been playing multi-TC. Yeah, so 2 TC with fishing. Imperial Palace now the way is really smart. The cool thing about Imperial Palace, the reason it's really good, guys, think of Imperial Palace as like a pseudo tribute pay where you're able to see all the kings. You won't see the king necessarily, but what you'll see is everything around him, including the workers nearby to let you know. So this is essentially a free scan every, I think it's like 120 seconds. It's actually a really smart play by Core. And it makes a lot of sense because on such a big map, you don't really get any value out of rushing Clock Tower. Like, there's no one close enough to you that you'll Nesta Beast spam them. And Beasty is indeed walling in. Baltoon is going to stop him escaping. Knight's now arriving. Trebuchets immediately spawn. This is smart. And he has got the attack speed aura to make this fast. I think we're saying farewell to Baltoon. This is the sucky part of playing Ayyubids. Is Ayyubids have a really good timing, but if you attack like this, they're worthless. Because your landmarks are all in one location. So even if you vacate with the king now, remember, in this mode, a player isn't just eliminated if they lose their king, they're eliminated if they lose their landmarks as well. So 2 ways to eradicate. Free relic game so far. Looks like we have got the logistics return and dividends here, as 2 relics are now being banned by Opajoi. Yeah, Unicom really didn't get the game he was looking for here. And on top of that, Opajoi yoinks from the east side. So Unicom's position's okay with 3 relics, but it's not out of control. And the trade-off has been the eco advantage Opajoi has in fishing. This will be a tough fight for Unicom. I'm wondering if he's just going to age. Yeah, he's aging. He's going for the imp. So a very greedy choice being made here. Baltoon, meanwhile, we've got Treb on Treb action. I'm a big fan of trebbing. Love a good trebbing. It's the most English thing I've said all day. Very Age of Empires 4 English for me. Knight Raider's going to be coming in. No undermesh means this does actually hurt. So yeah, Knights will do a little bit of damage. Crossbows are starting to come out. I don't know, guys. I think there's a big problem approaching for Baltoon here. There is some pressure coming in elsewhere, though. Popo is starting to clear up the fishing boats. On top of that, Kyo, I didn't even notice he'd done this. Saharan Trade Network next to the enemy base. He has got the Fulani. If these two start fighting, I think Beasty's fine. If these two decide to send it into Beasty's base, it's over for him. Ram's also coming in now. That gold gathering, not ideal, the extra walk distance. Also just keeps you further away from safety. And I think we are getting closer and closer to a showdown between the 2 Chinese players. Core and Vuvovan. They seem to be squaring up. They're definitely moving the same direction right now. So we're probably going to have, what, 4 1v1s, I think, at this rate. That's in the villager pool. This is expensive, though. It's putting him in range of the TC, so well played by Beasty. Leveraging positioning to ensure that the TC is able to snipe out. What is the move from Kyo? Looks like he's getting ready to send it into the base of Popo. This is a really powerful time for the Malians. If you're able to flood up to like 40, 50 sofas, you can just run around sniping kings by taking out TCs. Especially when all these players have been locked in 1v1s where they're not really eco-booming. Town center getting low here, though. The king. He's hidden on the hill. Oh, that's fantastic. The problem's going to be you can still die to landmark snipes here. That's one landmark down. Baltoon running out of time here. I think he knows he's dead. Yeah, like, honestly, at this stage, Baltun, I think he was seen walking up. There's no way Beasty didn't see this king walking up to the high ground. If he didn't, though, Baltun's move is smart, because what he's doing is, like, he's dead, but Beasty's a big threat. And if you stop him from getting an extra 50 pop cap, all this effort is for very little. And there's the scan. Yeah, unfortunately, that ability allows him to know everything. So he did use the treason. Reveals all locations. That means that king will eventually die. Lombos are already moving over to try and go for the snipe. Actually, you might not be able to see him on that high ground. Elsewhere, Unicom is starting to boom up the Palace of Swabia. Looks like Opajou is taking a very chill approach here. Went for the free TCs to kind of mirror. Has the fishing on a much longer piece of the river as well. Remember, this is all shoreline fish, though. It will not last forever, which is why things like what you've got out of Core and Vuvavan, where they're prepping for land eco, is going to scale a lot better here. In the meantime, Popo is about to get popped in the head. There's no getting out of this. We're waiting for this timing. Kyo finally springs the attack. Mass Sofa is starting to ride in. More on the way. I think realistically, actually, Kyo would benefit from just adding Musafadi now. You just want torches more than anything else. Like, this kill is so close to you. It's not about movement speed and maneuverability. It's just about having torches. Damn, I had high hopes for Kyo. For Popo, rather. It's only game one, though. You know, he actually, later on in his series, completely wiped everyone. So don't write this guy off just yet. King's going to jump out now. Goes into the outposts. And Kyo... Wait, did he see that? Kyo... Oh, he's shuffling. Wait, he can go out the gate. He can actually go out the gate right now. Popo. He's out. Bye. It's a reroute, though. Sofa's now on the way. Sprint's going to be used. He needs to get on the other side, into the outpost, and then through the gate here. The Sofas are trickling, though, so they will not be quick enough to kill the king. Popo, what a maneuver to stay alive here. Villagers also with the body blocks will be able to protect the king. The spearman defense is starting to mass up, and the Sofas are already coming around. That's it. No way out. He actually gets pinched by his own spear. I cannot believe that. His own guardsman there. The spear is like, well, the best way to protect the king is to keep him close. I guess they'll be close together now in the afterlife. So Kyo able to strike first in the grand finals here and get a point on the board for the Vietnamese. And we did just see the other one confirmed. So Beasty immediately strikes back for the Europeans by killing the Europeans. It's now Beasty and Kyo leading this group with 1 point each. I can't believe that spear. And Kyo's hunting as well. He understands. White Tower is going to be difficult to breach is the only issue here I see. In the meantime, we actually have a move over to the Saharan Trade Network, which is kind of intriguing. But I think he's worried about the siege sniping him, right? So there's a little bit more inland. The Sofas are looking to break in when Beasty's trying to boom up. Both of these players have extra population. The difference, though, is that Kyo should be in a much more aggressive position right now. Beasty only has 23 military. He's trying to rush keeps. This is the flood point for the Malians that can usually ruin the English. Raid comes in. A lot of eco is exposed. Castle at least goes up. So more defenses for Beasty to utilize here to stay alive. This is only going to be wave 1, keep in mind. Wait, is that in range? Oh, no, it's not. He can snipe out the cows. Sofa's coming in the meantime. Wallot in the base is going to reset because it looks like there's a fight going on between Kor and Vuvovan. They finally start to make their moves. And yes, if you get enough Sofas, you most definitely can kill the White Tower, but he doesn't have the count right now. He's diving double, keeping a TC. This is a lot of arrow damage being done, even when you have 7 ranged armor. So Kyo, after that dive, down to just 30 military. New wave is on the way, but because of the range and the reach onto these cows, you're going to start to see a lot of deflation in terms of Kyo's food income. I think we have a fight in the south now as well. Land stacked? Oh, that's sick. This is Castle versus Imp, though. And keep in mind, because Unicorn went for the very efficient Palace of Swabia, he can afford to start pumping army pretty hard. He's up to 40. There's a bigger force for Opajou right now, but it's mostly crossbows. And the Knights are incredibly tanky here. Good news, the Ghoulims do buy a little bit of time to get a better trade, but now with Landsnake starting to trickle in, this is where Auberjoy needs to be very careful. House of Swab is also being attacked, but E-Repairs is going to be there. Knights have closed the gap, and Auberjoy in the front line. Just frontlining with crossbows, not ideal here. Count going down. Sitting on 25 right now. Siege is also getting targeted. It looks like Unicom is going to survive the onslaught. Elsewhere, though, Beasty is starting to feel pressure. White Tower goes down. Now, folks, you don't need to kill the king here. In fact, in some ways, Kyo is going a hard way about this. It would be much easier for him right now to just target the landmarks. Trebs are going after it, but weirdly enough, Sofas are not. Even if Beasty plays a little bit of catch me if you can with the king, it doesn't matter. If you kill the landmarks, the player will die. I think this is going to be Beasty dead. Pull out the fire? Dude, there's no pulling out the fire. The entire house is on fire. It's about to be smoldering ruins. Beasty is going to go out in 6th in game number 1. And that means Kyo will be topping this group at least for the first half of game number 1 here with 2 points. TC's getting sniped. Like I said, it doesn't matter now with the king. You don't kill the king. You just kill the landmarks. That is it. So Beasty goes down. That means that Kyo is going to have a lot of population to work with, but he's also going to have a big problem here. Core has ran across the map looking for a king snipe. He won't be quick enough to save Beasty, though. Beasty, one more shot, and he is out. The king is going to get sniped now, though. Core moves in. Torches out. What a move. Cross map with the Palace Guard U1 movement speed to get a king in return. Beasty goes down, but Kyo will immediately fall afterwards. This one's tight. Core, he knows he's got the movement speed to block any sprint out by the king. He's pinched. He's dead. That's a 4th player down, and we are down to our final 4 with Core finally on the board. Damn, what a read there. You know, this is the issue, like, sometimes when you overcommit into an enemy base, and I do think that Kyo done that to himself, really. Like, in hindsight, he'll be looking at this game wondering, why did I keep sending so many sofas in? All I needed to do was kill the landmarks to win the game. And now I do believe there's a king up for grab. No, Kyo did get the kill, so that's at least him denying Core 300 pop. But with 250 pop in a Chinese mirror, that's a hell of an advantage. Core's looking like the scariest player right now, man. With moves like that, I mean, Yuan Dynasty is a hell of a drug. And I don't know. Vuvavan doesn't have it. So actually, Core, he's going to try to snipe another king. It's difficult, though. With a Great Wall Gatehouse, it's not an easy target. I think instead you have to kill the economy. Because you're going to need Siege to break in here. South side, it looks like Pink is starting to win, though. Auberjoy trying to hold on here. There is no biology. Desert Raiders might be a saving grace here. Auberjoy needs to upgrade them, but he did go for the Desert Raider wing. And also does have the Sultan's Mamluk effect now for the hand cannoneers. This could be a bit of a backbreaker. For the time being, though, Auberjoy will have to reset down to 40 military. Unicom now up to 51, and it is full Landsneck and Knights. Something that he can afford because he parked himself in the center of the map where the 8k gold veins are plentiful. This could be big. I mean, hand cannoneers is really not something you want to be frontlining with. He will make his way behind the walls. That's going to slow down Unicom for a moment here. He will need to go back and get some siege. Good lord. Oh, that was interesting, actually. So I think the cleave from the Landsneck hit up on the wall because he hit a unit on the low ground. I have never seen that before, but that's kind of an intriguing thought. Meanwhile, Vuvavan. Well, it's a good thing he's losing all this economy because he's going to need more military to keep up with the population. Core is down a little bit right now. Hasn't really utilized that full extra 50, but that is now on the way. Well, hand cannon is now marching out, but wait, Auberjoy, be careful, son. This is actually how you lose games. He needs to play around choke points and around walls. Playing up like this allows night dives like that. We'll just keep striking him down. He's trying to wrap around the back now. It looks like Auberjoy will just about make it back to the choke point, but I made a mistake there. I thought he had Sultan's Mamluks. He does not. There's no golden buff coming out, so no insane increase in DPS. And the longer he does this, the worse it gets, right? That means he's just not upgrading his army the same way that Unicom is. More court. Still has a few pass guard camping around the back, but I think we're just getting ready for the surge. 58 pass guard. He's got the bombards. He's even, in fact, got a Bao Chuan playing upriver. Pretty crafty, especially if you go in for the nest of bees on these. I do love that Yuan Dynasty, for some weird reason, works on Bao Chuans. You're seeing that correctly. This warship, this giant-ass warship that looks like it can barely float, moves at 1.44 movement speed. I don't know, man. My money's kind of on call right now. I don't feel like Vuva Van's in a better position. And these guys are going to take a while, right? Because you're spamming knights and choke points, and your opponent's building hand cannoneers and choke points, right? And although eventually Pink should win this, it's still going to take a very long time. In that time, Core could easily get the kill on yellow first, and then we're talking 300 pop versus a 250. I guess you could argue he can afford the best units, so like mass Landsneck against mass Palace Guard isn't bad, but he hasn't walled anything is the problem. So Palace Guard, the way they always win these type of games is just hitting the economy. Still no upgrade with the Desert Raiders, which is, I think, a mistake at this stage for Auberjoy. Desert Raiders is definitely worth the investment now that your opponent is massing Knights. It's a little bit awkward against the Lance deck, but actually even against Lance, Desert Raiders aren't terrible because they have a lot of melee armor, right? Even at this stage in the game, just being level 2, they have 7 melee armor. If you do hand cannon in Desert Raiders, you can get, I think it's something like 12 melee armor almost. I think it's more than that. I think we talked about this before. It goes up to 30 melee armor when you elite them up and get all the techs, including the one where infantry give +3 armor. So yeah, definitely would be a logical solution for Auberjoy, but I think he's a bit tunnel visioned right now. Not really focused on it. Core? What is Core up to? He's been very quiet. 68 Palace Guard are just vibing at the back right now. Maybe he's worried about backstab. Granary transition is about to complete. That's what the slowdown was. Didn't want to rely on the fishing anymore. And Orange is getting his gold from the heavens. I actually think it's just the relics. And then he's trying now to play out into this flank, but there's not much left there. He's in trouble. Breakthrough comes in as well. Bombards break the wall. And Auberjoy, he's dead. There's no getting away from this. This is too many knights. He can at least play a little bit of Duck, Duck, Goose with the Saladin in the TC and the keeps. But that's going to be about it. It's just a matter of time now. Mangonels are crushing that backline of hand cannoneers. It's going to be a temp reset, but I imagine 2 or 3 bombards is what's going to follow up from Unicom. Meantime, Core. Now clashing with his counterpart. The Chinese Civil War now underway. Bombards are trying to move in to snipe out that nest of bees on the flank. It is Ming. What? Wow, he went Ming. Okay, so he has the movement speed versus the health. That's actually smart. If Vuva Van can turn it into a bogged down fight, great. But the problem here is your opponent has more population, and he's brute forcing with it right now. Hand cannon near count at 17, 45 Palace Guard, and it's a bad fight. Vuva Van knows it. He has to break away. His army's now smaller. And that means now, all of a sudden, that movement speed advantage is going to be effective for Core. In fact, Core just scanned it out. He's like, where are they all right now? Vuva Van is thinking the same thing. And Core can now start moving in and trying to shove back this line of defenses. Farm's also still being harassed here. It's going to slow down Vuva Van's reboom in a game where he can't really afford any slowdown at the stage. Yes, he's got 200 pop, but he doesn't really have surplus to fall back on when a big fight like this occurs. Moving in again. Bombard's getting rid of defenses. Could even start sniping down these hand cannoneers. Give me a wrap around the back with a few of the PG. The hand cannoneers back up. Nicely played there by Core. So we'll be able to survive the backstab. Looks like the hand cannoneer count is going up as well. We're up to 33 hand cannoneers now. Yeah, no, this is unbreakable now. He's past 30 when his opponent has half the count. Like, you've got extra health, you haven't got extra movement speed, so melee feels worse here because, yeah, you're a bit more tanky, but compare that to the difference it takes to gap close, compare that to the difference it takes to get more troops here. It's just too big of an advantage now for Core. And this actually might align perfectly, guys. Core could make this a pretty nutty game 1 6-point finisher. Because I don't think pink and orange are going to kill each other quick enough. Cool. Well, as soon as I praise him, apparently he got camped by Nesta Bees there. So a decent number of the hand cannoneers do go down, and apparently a lot of them really hate this gate. But they've now been unshackled. He's at 250 pop, about 60 army here. Vuvovan, meanwhile, is down to a grand total of about 20, 30 units total. We have got a transport ship play, but I don't see what you do here that doesn't look like intentional feeding of the king. If I'm being totally blunt about it. There isn't any logical move here. You either defend this base or you're dead. And there's that annoying Great Wall Gatehouse. That's going to slow things down. But the Bombards, they're blitzkrieging the landmarks. And if I'm not mistaken, Vuvovan has committed every single landmark already. Bar one. He's got the Imperial Palace still. So there is a way he could snake maybe like north side, hide a landmark here, hide the king here. That wouldn't be king feeding, that would be surviving. But that's kind of his only move, because at this pacing, he's not going to be able to defend this. I mean, Core's just staying healthy, 174 economy. So building up an insane reserve. And I think the logic here is he's going to go for a Zerg. So it's full blitzkrieg like I'd expect out of the German. He basically is planning to build up a reserve about 50k resources, probably delete about half his economy, and then keep flooding Palace Guard to kill the remaining players. Which will be very easy in this game because sometimes H3 players go for Elsback. That's where that strategy doesn't work very well, but this is just a Palace of Swabia game. Kind of surprised it's not more hand cannoneers, but... You can tell Core is rushing as much gold as possible. 15,000 now. That's normal clock towers being targeted. Oh, we ain't got many landmarks left here, guys. There's two behind this. And Vuvovan hasn't prepped the final landmark. In fact, he doesn't seem to be gathering gold. He's going to have to fight in the next probably about 15 seconds. Because if you wait too long, this many Bombards, even when you're fighting, will just target down the gatehouse. He realizes, right? I'm not sure he realizes, guys. Vuvovan, it's now or never. Flash comes in, but the Palace Guard are going to hold him back. And here we go, Repair Crew is working on it. Nesta Beast shots are coming in. But this is not quick enough. There's not enough villagers. This is the awkward thing about relying on the Great Wall Gatehouse as your final landmark. You can't surround repair it. Vuvovan, no doubt about it, he's dead. And that is going to be Core now, bulking up to 300 population with 2 more targets on the map to strike at. Wait, what? Vuvovan, you snake! He got the Imperial Palace up at the last moment there. He bought the gold and went for it. He snuck it when we weren't looking, so Imperial Palace to the north is the one thing keeping him alive. However, Bombards are now moving in. Nesta Bees are getting targeted down. The fatigue is real. 30 military left, Core maintaining at 71. It's becoming undeniable. It may not be a landmark snipe, because we didn't quite see this in the farms, but this is definitely going to be a death of yellow. Say that, he's trying to run away. Once again, like, there is... The problem with this play is, like, Core should just basically press this button, and then he'll see the landmark up here, because they buffed Imperial Palace Vision from, like, 1 tile to 3. So, before, you used to just see the villagers outlined. Now you kind of see the villagers and, I'd say, about the width of a farm around them. So, if he just presses that one button, he'll see this landmark. Instead, though, he goes to the treason. He's like, get back here with my 50 population. How dare you, sir? Palace Guard not going to be able to break in quick enough here. Got a few hand cannons going around the other side. Now, you need to be very careful, Vuvovan, because this will start to look a bit like a king feed. And Vuvovan knows... No, okay, he doesn't know where orange is exactly. But he knows there were players down here. He knows they have remaining remnants rather to their base. I mean, Core just needs to go north. He sees it. Here we go. Bombards moving up. He's going for the final landmark. And Vuvo It is going to be in the transport ship. Oi, oi, oi. Meanwhile, Imperial Pass being knocked already, and he can't react quick enough here. This is death. There's no final landmark that he can commit to. He's already committed all of them, folks. So Vuvovan is going to die here, but he is going to be a cheeky git about it and hide his king far, far away. So that's another point on the board for core, folks, but no 50 extra pop just yet. So I'll mark that up. 2 points on the board. That means that he is actually now mirroring Kyo's performance in game number 1, with the potential to triple it. Ooh. Can Opasjoy go for this, though? He does see the king, but he doesn't necessarily see it. It's not marked on the map properly, right? Like, look at the minimap. He hasn't got an indication right now. And right now, he's too distracted to look anywhere but his base. Core, meanwhile, is ramming through the wall, so he might still get this kill. In the meantime, there is a march south. Core is getting ready to backstab onto the Unicom. It's one of those tough things, right? Like, Core used the treason already, so he couldn't scan for the king again when he was running south. This is a stalemate, guys. Once Core's in position, though, it's going to turn into a fast kill. We've got cannon placements, we've got some relics inside them, so he'll be able to survive a minute or two. But like, if we look at the reserves, look at Core's income. This is insane. Look at his reserves. Now, take a ganders at Unicom. He's been spamming knights and landsnets for a long time, and now horsemen. It's very draining. It doesn't let you keep reserves. Horseman. We'll move in to mop this up. So army is just getting taken down. It looks like maybe Opasjoy survives in this little choke point, but he's not going to gain much ground. Castle defense is coming up. King has indeed been sniped, so that is going to be the 50 pop. Core now bloated up to 300. That means that he can actually have, I'd say, about an army of 150 in sustain. It's going to be quick. And Core could go for a wonder. It's just pointless. There's kills nearby, right? In fact, funnily enough, Opasjoy is kind of helping him out now. Because I think actually Core has a bit too much economy still. So for those going, they need to focus Core. Think about the situation, though. If you're Unicom, you don't trust Opasjoy. Because we talked about these dynamics before. Like, what's easy to do? Kill Core or kill Unicom if you're Opasjoy? It's 100% killing Unicom. He's right next to you. You have to go all the way around his base to try and reach Core. In a game where Core has been farming up a storm, he has 300 pop, right? So he's probably got enough army to potentially contest both of you. In fact, it looks like Core is trying to sneak for the Opasjoy kill. That's intriguing. Crazy if so. I thought he'd just brute force straight through the center here because it shuts down the farming area. And then you can kind of park here and take out all the landmarks, right? I love that hand cannoneers are sinking boats right now. Makes sense, guys. You put enough holes in them, they can't float. I mean, say Opasjoy is so much stronger. I don't agree with that. I think Pink is really strong. Like, Pink was constantly winning those fights up against Orange. The hand cannoneers are now a problem, though. We finally got the auras coming in. Mamluk's bravery, as well as the extra arm of the Desert Raider front line. But if... Wait. Did I just see that correctly? Has he still not upgraded the Desert Raiders? I don't think he has. No. Dude, what is wrong with Opasjoy? At this point, you're just griefing yourself. These Desert Raiders are so valuable in the late game. They are insane, especially when you're Golden Age 5, which I have no doubts he is. Yeah. So kind of a little bit of a blunder there. Would have made the fights more realistic to win. Both of them now draining each other. Unicom going for the reboom, but he's starting to get drained here. And the perfect timing now out of Core. He's on the move. Bombards now shuffling in on the backside here. Very tanky as well. Almost 500 HP per siege. And he's going to start moving towards those landmarks. Farm's about to be vacated here. Unicom is basically dead. There's no getting away from this. And I don't think Orange is going to be quick enough to contest the king kill either. In fact, it's a dive in. He's hunting, he's looking for it. It's like, where have you stored the goodies? A good question, actually. Wow. Okay, no, it's down here. He's put the king on the front line. What? That's going to be landmark snipes anyway. I think that's exactly what Core is targeting first here. Bombard's just deleting all these cannon emplacements to be safe. Regnitz is down. TC can be targeted next. Arkin, Pasta Swabia, they're all close together. And it looks like Unicom is holding on just long enough that it will allow for the landmark snipe. E-Repair's going to come out. Another castle's being built up. But this is going to be victory through something other than Regicide for Core. Damn. I can't believe that, actually. I think maybe, looking in hindsight, I think Unicom should have had that kill on Orange, but maybe where the mistake came in is that he didn't seem to, from what I could see anyway, he didn't seem to transition quick enough into Siege, and then he stayed on Knights a little bit too long. Like, you're playing choke point fights. If you're playing choke point fights, Cavalry kind of suck. There are better choices. But there it is. Confirmation in. King Snipe comes through. That is another point on the board now for Core, and I think we are going to be looking at a 6-point performance in game. Maybe that's 7, actually. 7-point performance for Core in game 1 of the grand finals of War of Lords. It's going to be temporary reset. And I think Orange knows it's over. Core has 350 pop. Orange has 200. You're almost fighting exactly 2 players fully boomed. Just a reminder, guys, it's a good start for Core, but far from over. It might be labeled grand finals, but we're playing this out across 3 days and 6 games in total. No doubt, though, a fantastic starting performance from Core, but one that's going to require a very diverse approach to strategies in following up games, because now he is #1 public enemy on the map. Is Core just going to chill and go Wonder? I don't know why. Maybe he's a little bit worried that Auberjoy is backstabbing him. I guess I can see that. And yeah, this is so unnecessary. Core's been playing too much with Beasty, man. Wow. I think Auberjoy is just going to call it. Like, there's no way you can do this. It's really cocky of Core. It's really unnecessary. But at this point, he can pretty much do what he wants. He's got plenty of resources still to grab, so he can build up all the defenses. It also puts him insanely far away from Auberjoy. If you're wondering why did Core do this instead of just ending the game, I guess he was maybe a little bit paranoid that maybe Orange was going to just try for a backstab to get a king. Because although 150 extra pop feels like an insta-GG, there are ways that it can screw you over, right? For example, if your opponent sees that you're all-inning but you have Cav, you could maybe rush his king. Damn. I'm just going to mark it now because I'm certain. So that's going to be 7 points. Remember, guys, the next best performance this lobby will be Kyo at 2 and Beasty at 1. So every single game, there's 10 points up for grabs. There's still 50 more points up for grabs after this one. But carving up almost a 5th, actually a 6th for that score, a pretty damn good start to this tournament for Core. Push comes in now, but I think he's going to know it's over. It's 113 hand cannoneers. What? 10 bombards. 100 plus hand cannoneers. I've played Dawn of War for years. I've watched Orc armies, and even there, I've never seen this much Daka.